Welcome into the New Orleans Saints podcast, presented by SeatGeek. You'll hear from players, coaches, broadcasters, and writers that cover the NFL on a daily basis. The New Orleans Saints podcast starts right now. Here's your host, Erin Summers.
Well, welcome into the New Orleans Saints podcast. I'm Erin Summers. It is a busy week as free agency opened up on Wednesday. The Saints are out there making moves, and one move that you can make is heading to the new Cox store in Elmwood. We're celebrating it in style with New Orleans Saints' own Cam Jordan. Cam has taken a break from his offseason training to swing by to meet fans and to take a look at all of the new products from our friends at Google. The first 70 people that stopped by the store at 1130 South Clearview Parkway, Suite B, on March 22nd from 12 to 2 will get a free football. Again, that's the new Cox store in Elmwood. We'll see you there. And while we're on the topic of Cam Jordan, he did allude to the fact last night on social media that he would be back here for his 15th season. So way to go, Cam. I'm sure official announcements will be coming soon. As far as what has been made official, the Saints have agreed to a deal with former Kansas City Chief safety Justin Reid and former Eagles tight end Jack Stoll. They traded for New England Patriots defensive tackle Davon Godchaux, and offensive lineman Will Clapp is coming back to New Orleans. The former LSU Tiger signed a one-year deal. Earlier in the week, the Saints signed extensions with three players: defensive end Chase Young, tight end Juwan Johnson, and wide receiver Dante Pettis. We are going to sit down with Chase Young and Dante Pettis in today's episode, pick their brain about why they wanted to come back here to New Orleans and what's next for them on this squad. The moves do fill in some needs at tight end and safety for the Saints. With Paulson Adebo signing with the Giants, an additional corner is likely on the way. Reports did come out on Thursday that former 49ers cornerback and former Saint Isaac Yiadom is headed back to the Saints. So we'll await some more official news on that. But without further ado, John DeShazier joins me for our conversations with Chase Young and Dante Pettis. Chase, congratulations on the new extension. Welcome back to New Orleans. It's going to be good to have you here for the next several years. What was the first thing that you thought of when you agreed to the extension and knew you were coming back?
Yeah, I mean, I was ecstatic. Felt blessed. It was a move that I want. Even during the season, I knew I wanted to come back. So yeah, I mean, I was definitely happy and blessed that we was able to get it done.
What is it about New Orleans that differs from maybe other places that you've been or that you really enjoyed about being here?
Yeah, I mean, the fans, number one. The fans is, the only thing I can compare that to is like Ohio State. I don't think I've been around a fan base like this since college. Just my teammates too. I feel like we have a great locker room in there. All the guys get along, and it's just pretty cool in there, man. Yeah.
I love that you had that kind of reaction to last season, even though it went the way that it did, because the fans are intense, but when they're winning, like, it's a lot of fun around here. So hopefully you guys can get that going this upcoming season.
That's the plan.
Hey, Chase, what was, I guess, the home feel you got from the organization and from the locker room last year? Because when you re-up with a team, generally it's because you're comfortable with that team.
Yeah, no, I mean, everybody welcomed me with open arms. Literally everybody, from the front office, just down to everybody in the building. I mean, so that was number one. How everybody made me feel and how I kind of, intertwined with everybody and how that chemistry just was great. And I was number one. And number two, like I said, the fans, and I like the culture of New Orleans. Food is good, and my family liked it, and it was just good.
You mentioned something about your neck surgery last year that I don't know if a lot of people knew, that you basically had to be immobile for 3 months. What was that like as you're sitting, contemplating your football future, and maybe the doctors have told you you're going to be fine, but you got to sit still for 3 months and not do any activities at all, much less football activities?
Yeah, no, it was hard just to sit down, man. I mean, it was hard. It was just sitting there like, what do I do? Like, I got all this inner, it's like but doing this for this long, I feel like our body's conditioned to working out, knowing, okay, fall's coming up, my body knows it's about to go start hitting. I didn't do this my whole life, so I believe that we're conditioned to do this. So, and it's also conditioned for the off season and training and used to, used to working and so when I'm just sitting there, it's like I need to find something to take my mind to. But it was hard. I found myself reading a lot more, um, just doing a lot more kind of, like going to the zoo or, going to the aquarium, like just trying to find something to do.
Now, having gone through that and to play a full season and to go through all the practices and, the preseason and all that stuff, did that make you feel, I guess, I don't want to say proud of yourself, but what kind of accomplishment did you feel going through that without any stoppages?
Yeah, nah, it felt great, man. I knew, going through something like that. Even today making it out on another, because I tore my knee up, had neck surgery. So I just know I'm blessed in all of it. So that's only I can give it to God, nothing else.
Hey, I know you said your family likes it here too. We've seen your mom. She's a huge Chase Young fan if she ain't a Saints fan.
He's
Just
funny.
what what has been her adaptation to New Orleans? Because I mean, obviously, you mentioned it feels kind of like Ohio State, but what's her adaptation to New Orleans been like too?
Yeah, no, it's great. From her view, it's a little different. Like on game day, for them, it's like a big party and fun day. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little different view there. My day is like, all right, I don't need you calling me all excited. Just call me. All right, what you need? All right, that's it. I'm gone. Like, so I'm trying to kind of lock in. So she likes the stadium. She likes the food. She likes what they did new to the stadium. She likes the culture. French Quarter. And she also likes that I like it.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Well, now that you're going to be here for a little while, we got to get to know you a little bit more. I think you were locked in last season. You weren't the most talkative, okay? So
Nah,
we're gonna break that down a little bit.
for sure.
What is your game day ritual? You mentioned your mom, but like what is it that you need to get done?
I think it's more in terms of I don't really have too big a game day rituals. Um, I know that it's more like during the week, preparing my mind. Cause it's like I got in my mind, I gotta be prepared by like Friday. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be prepared early. So I'm kind of just riding a wave going into the game and feel good going into the game and knowing, I can go out here and play.
Okay, so what kind of music gets you going?
Uh, Probably early in the morning, I'm listening to like some Sade or something, some chill, you know, depending on our game, right? If it's, we played Kansas City last year, at nighttime. So all day I was listening to Sade. I would call my friends, be watching a little film. Nothing, I mean, it's nothing, no, you just, we walk into that field and I flip my switch.
Mhm.
Because I'm so high strung anyway. I get to going, talking, and being hype, I really be hype. So it's like I need to calm down.
Are you? Because I
If
don't
you
think we've
listen,
seen that.
Chase, you listen to Sade, you're a man of style and class.
You better know it. Better know
Hey,
it.
what's the off season like for you, especially after not having, I guess, an off season last year? And did you struggle coming back last year with trying to do too much or wanting to do too much?
No, I don't think I struggled. I just like this past season. I think that helped me was I was lifting 4 times a week, um, Monday through Thursday. You can ask Coach Clapp. I was in there, every day, and because I just knew that I had to condition my body because I just didn't have that time all off season like everybody else. So I knew I just had to do a little bit more and just focus a little bit. I mean, a lot more on my body. Um, what was your second question?
Did you feel like you wanted to rush and overdo it because you didn't have much activity?
Nah, I just knew when they took the leash off, I just sprinted. You know what I'm saying? I was doing everything that I could do to stay ready. Um, you know, so yeah.
Chase, not to get too much into your business, but when somebody says neck surgery for a football player, that didn't bring any fear to you. I mean, I know they told you it was going to be fine, but when you're talking about neck surgery, I can imagine as a regular layperson that has some kind of connotations to it. But when you're a football player, that's totally different.
Fix me up so I can go play. That's kind of you gotta think, bro. I've been doing this my whole life, so this is what I know. I ain't never had this is the only job I've ever really had. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
pass me up. I'm good. Pass me up.
Yeah, you said last season you felt like you pass rush the best that you have in your career. How do you think that's going to translate to what Staley wants to do here?
It might even get more crazy because Coach Staley, he gonna really let us fly off the edge, crash nine, we would call it. Um, so I had kind of did crash nine like when I was in Washington with Del Rio. So all the plays I was making over there, especially with the guys that we have on the offense, with Grando on the other side helping me. We playing off each other. Um, so I feel like it's gonna be great.
How do you think Devon Godchaw is going to fit in there with you guys?
Pronounce his name.
It's it's
I,
Godchaw.
I, yeah, I want you to say it
That's just rude.
again. Nah. I haven't. I know who he is because his fits. He always on like blitz fits. Um, but I'm definitely excited. I went and watched his film, his highlights, and I feel like he's exactly know adding more depth um to our interior D line, especially in terms of just being that big body, just to
Mhm.
stop there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely excited to get him because that only helps the ends when you have a massive interior.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I loved
Hey, Chase,
how Cam Jordan like tweeted that it's going to be Carl and Chase, and then in parentheses he was like, "And I'm still here too." Like,
Cam is a fool. Cam, that he is funny. Man. Every time you come around Cam, he just making everybody laugh. But he's funny though.
you were in discussions to come back to this team, not even knowing who the coach was going to be. What does that say, I guess, about the structure and how much you like it around here?
Yeah, I mean, so you got to understand kind of where I came from in Washington, where I was at a point there where everything front office just wasn't moving. Is great. You guys know. When I came here, I'm Mickey. Great dude. Up front. Um, keeps it real with you. And also just a cool guy. He's always in the facility. Always talking to you. We talking about Ohio State, Oregon. Even Kai. It's just everybody's real cool in there, man. And then, that was just something that I wasn't used to, I guess. And I was very fortunate to be here and to get to play some more years here.
well, now that it's the off season, what are you doing? What's your favorite thing to do when you have some downtime?
And I've been working out, man. I ain't gonna fake. I've been grinding. I ain't stopped. I ain't stopped. So I mean, working out today. My birthday coming up in April, so I guess I'll do something.
You got to. You just got paid.
Yeah, right. Look, hey, look. I ain't about to get me. Yeah, I ain't about to get me. Nah, I feel like I'm going on. I feel like I'm matured. I feel like I'm always growing every year. So, I ain't really. It's not too many things that I really just want. You know what I'm saying? Like think I'm kind of over that. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? I might
That's,
like
that's
take my family on a vacation, like you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
something like that.
yeah. That's why you're
But
spending $30,000 on like
it's
equipment to help you stay healthy.
stuff like I make a big purchase for my body. Um, but yeah, get it. I'm just blessed. I can't even, can't even shoot. Can't even say nothing. May do
Yeah.
some things on my house, change up some things, add some things, stuff like that. Nothing like I'm good on cars. I'm good on jewelry. I'm kind of maybe get a watch, something like that. Nothing crazy, nothing, no young guy stuff though. You know what I'm saying?
Chase, you about to ruin your reputation now. You're too domestic right now.
You, you're hilarious. Nah, man. I just feel like everything happened with me. It definitely. I just feel like when you come out of college in 21 and they give you a lump sum of money and you got all type of different things going on, your life moving, crazy fast. You got to mature. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? A lot people don't like to admit that, but 21, I would have. My dad was all in the police. My dad and uncles in the police. They was police officers in law enforcement. I
Uh,
probably would have got out of college and been a police officer. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I feel like I had to mature a little earlier. All of us do. So yeah, I feel like that's where I'm at right now. I ain't even playing no more. Can't play no more.
All right. That's a good
You
place to be.
you would have been a very scary police officer.
Yeah, yeah. And my dad, he's 6'10". He did warrants and he was correctional officer.
6'10"?
I never seen my dad.
No. No.
Yeah, my dad's 6'10", about 320.
Yeah, actually, I saw them at training camp too. As they come to games,
Oh, they can every game.
yeah, you can't miss them.
Literally every
Yeah.
game.
Well, I appreciate it, Chase. I'm excited to have you here, see you back around the facility. So congratulations again.
Nah, I appreciate y'all. Have a good day.
Thank you
You too,
too.
Chase. Thank you.
Dante, thanks for joining us on the New Orleans Saints podcast now that you are officially still a New Orleans Saint. Congratulations on the extension and welcome back. How are you feeling?
Thank you. Thank you. I feel good. Excited to be back for sure. I like New Orleans, so this is a good time. I'm excited.
Last year, you came in midway through the season on the practice squad, but then you got to play in the last 8 games of the season, and you were effective, had a lot of time on special teams. Just how valuable was the end of the season for you in solidifying this next step?
Yeah, it was great. I think that there's when you get hurt, there's always a question of like, can he still play, or like, you're not really sure. You don't have that tape, and so I felt like I had a good preseason, and then obviously got injured, but being able to prove that like, no, I'm still a good player. I can still do this. I can still play in this league and make plays and help the team win. So I think that was pretty important for me, especially going into the off season.
With limited exposure to the organization, what made you feel comfortable with wanting to run it back instead of starting fresh somewhere else?
Yeah, I think that I've been on a few teams, and I feel like you can kind of get a grasp of how good an organization is, even if you come in the middle of the season. And I could tell that this was a really good organization from top to bottom. And so there really wasn't much for me to consider. It was just like, okay, they wanted me back. I felt comfortable with Kellen Moore coming there, and Dub was still the receiver coach, and all the guys in the locker room. So I felt like it was really an easy decision for me.
What about Kellen stood out for you or stands out for you? He's obviously had productive offenses wherever he's been, but what was there something specific about him? And have you guys had any conversations?
Yeah, so he was my cousin's quarterback in college. My cousin played at Boise State with him, and then Coach Peterson went to UW, and he was my coach at UW. And so there's just been a lot of crossover. His brother was the GA for me at UW, so like shout out to Kirby. There's just like a lot of crossover, and so I always felt like if I got the chance to play for him, I would definitely like to do it. Just hearing stories about how good of a quarterback he was, how smart he was, and everything. And then seeing his offenses, it's like high output. They're always getting something done. He's got a great offensive mind, and so I'm excited.
He's a guy we've had a tough time cracking. What does your brother say about him? What kind of person does your brother say he is?
So it's my cousin.
Oh, your cousin. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But no, that's I feel like that's kind of how him and his brother were. I feel like they're pretty similar. That's how his brother was. He was kind of tough to crack at first, but no, I mean, really good guy. Really good guy. Cares about people and loves football.
You have a lot of family ties to at least athletes. Obviously, your cousin Austin playing at Boise, playing in the league, but your dad, he played baseball, right?
Yeah, yeah, he did. He played for 11 years.
Yeah.
Won 5 Gold Gloves.
Right, right. So, what drew you to football?
Honestly, it was just that baseball, like you kind of have to play year round, and I was playing every sport, so I didn't want to just like stick to one sport year round. And football was just kind of the one that I just stuck with because, like I said, I didn't have to play it year round. I could go play basketball, run track, and then come back to football, and it was like nothing ever happened. Where the other sports, they'd be like, "Oh, well, you missed winter ball, or you missed this and that," and so I was always kind of behind in the other sports, and then football was just like, okay, I'm here. I showed up day one, ready to go.
Yeah, only to get to the NFL and find out that football's year round.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, not much of an off
And,
season. Your dad was okay with that, like you choosing that path?
yeah, he really didn't care. He just wanted me to play something. He was like, I think he knew I was very athletic, and he was like, I don't care what you choose, just pick one and stick with it. And that's what I did.
Okay, so I was looking on your bio and it said that your brother Kyler is an actor. So what has he been in? What does he do?
Yeah, so he was on Days of Our Lives for a couple years.
Okay.
He won an Emmy in that. And then recently he was in All American Homecoming. And so, yeah, he's been, I mean, it was obviously a little slower with the strike that happened, but things are starting to pick back up now. So he's had a few more auditions, and yeah, we'll see what happens next. He's very talented, so something's gonna happen. It's just kind of when it happens,
That's really cool. I think it's fascinating that you guys have like picked such different paths, but that's awesome that you guys are having success doing what you're doing. After last season here, how are you going to plan on building off of that? What do you want to accomplish this upcoming season?
It's a good question. I feel like I like to win, so like as long as the team is winning, I feel like I'm happy. Obviously, I want to contribute. I want to help the team win. I want to score touchdowns and all that. But at the end of the day, like I've been on a lot of losing teams, and I went to the Super Bowl once, so it's like I know what that feels like. And uh, scoring touchdowns, catching a lot of passes, like all of that is not as important to me as winning. So whatever I can do to help the team win, like I'll be happy with that.
How do you feel like you fit with the receiver room, Dante? I mean, obviously you're a returner also, but we know you're a receiver, and you got some opportunities last year when the receiver room was banged up. How do you feel like you fit with a healthy receiver room with the Saints?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm a good confidence in the room. I feel like the way I run routes and I get open, I think I have like a unique skill set, and I think that's something that Kellen has recognized and appreciates, and I think that's one of the reasons why they brought me back.
When you have a change of coaching staff and there's that upheaval, how important is it, I guess, for you and the receivers to have that constant, the same coach at that position? They retain him, so obviously they like what he does and how he does it.
I think that's really important, especially when you have someone like Dub, who we all connect really well with him. Everybody in the room loves him, and so when you have someone that all the players love, going to meetings and stuff, like it's easy. You want to show up every day. You go out to practice. You want to practice hard, and then just in terms of like him instilling confidence in us, like that's a big aspect too. You can't play, especially receiver. You can't play the receiver position if you don't have confidence. And so just him being able to connect with us and know us on a personal level is really big.
Yeah, for you, this off season, what are the plans? What are you doing before you get back here to New Orleans?
I haven't been, I mean, so I'm big into art. So I've just been like taking a bunch of pictures, started working out, obviously, but outside of that, yeah, I've been taking a lot of pictures, writing a little bit, going to the beach. Might take a couple trips here or there, but that's pretty much it. It's been pretty laid back. Playing a lot of golf.
So I got to ask, you're into the arts. You never considered the art of acting?
No, not really. I'd rather be the one writing the story, or maybe behind the camera. Acting, yeah, I'll leave that to my brother.
Hey, what did he say about this? Because I would imagine, soap operas is like every day. That's got to be a pretty grueling endeavor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And he wasn't in every single episode, but he would be there filming all the time. And so, it was a lot. It would be, I don't remember the hours, but it was a couple years ago. But yeah, he would be there all day. There'd be weeks where he would just, have to get up because he lives in Orange County and he had to drive up to LA. So he had to get up 4 a.m., beat the traffic, go out there and not finish until late at night. So I know it was tough for sure.
Wow. Like sands in the hourglass. These are the days of Dante's brothers' lives.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the field is your stage, right? And I know that's super cheesy, but that's how we're going to tie this all together.
No, exactly. And I view route running as like an art. And so that's I feel like I'm very creative within the receiver position. And that's one thing that I appreciate about Dub is that he kind of lets me play how I want to play, where there's a lot of coaches that are like, no, you have to do this. You have to run the route this way. But I think Dub has seen that I can have success playing the way that I like to play and being creative. And so, it's funny because I really do view it as this is my canvas and this is how I express myself.
Well, for you, how good is it to know that, Derek Carr is here, he's back, somebody that you've already worked with for, half a year?
No, that's big too. Especially, I feel like we had a good relationship. We didn't get to play too many games together, but just on a personal level, I feel like we had a good relationship. And so that's always big too.
Well, congratulations again. We look forward to seeing you here soon and the upcoming season. A lot of changes, but we're all ready for it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate both players taking the time. They both seem really fired up for this upcoming season, already working out, getting ready for whatever new schemes are ahead of us. Thank you so much for joining us on the New Orleans Saints podcast. We'll be back next week as more players are coming through the building and we're able to sit down and talk to them, get to know them a little bit before they officially take the field as a Saint. As always, you can find your podcast on NewOrleansSaints.com or anywhere you get them. We'll be there. So make sure you tune in or subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Thanks for listening to the New Orleans Saints podcast, presented by SeatGeek. Join us 3 times per week on NewOrleansSaints.com, the Saints mobile app, or you can download the podcast on iTunes. We'll see you next time, right here on the New Orleans Saints podcast, presented by SeatGeek.